Standing on the top now. No, nothing can move you.
All right, good evening, everybody. This is Robert Brown, Bobby with the Bobby Brown Show. Everything is running smooth up here, but I'm looking on the monitor and it's choppy. So bear with me. I'm kind of late coming up here. Been watching WrestleMania with friends because we're diehard wrestling fans since we're kids. So it's just good to do something that you did when you were a kid with your friends. I'm going to talk about this serious subject about standard of living, I guess, being a man of valor, being a man of courage. Now, I'm from the hood, and it's a street code. It's certain things you don't do. That's why it really gets me that people, when it comes to this Chris Rock, Will Smith situation, that people can tend to think slapping was the right thing to do. And normally in the hood, somebody crossed the line, you got to pimp slap them sometimes, you know. And I don't encourage violence, but there's certain things you don't do. You don't talk about somebody's mama. You don't attack their mom. You don't attack their brother and sister or something like that. And I'm not talking about just say things. Because back in the day, we used to play a dozen. We used to do my mama jokes. And some people just couldn't handle the mama jokes. So why are you playing anyway? If you can't handle mama jokes, stay your butt out of the mama game. Don't you talk about my mama? I have not prepared this. Wasn't planning on talking about it at all. Actually trying to get some rest. But I really believe I have to talk about this because it's so important. You see this family right here? Where is that? Over here? See that family right there? That is a legendary comedian, Chris Rock's family. You have a beautiful family. Will Smith got a beautiful family. Will Smith, the constant perfectionist, which is to his downfall more than anything. It helps him become a better person. You always known him as a positive stand-up guy. But for you to think he won't make some dumb mistake and do something stupid like this that he did, then something is wrong with you. People get upset because pastors in the church do stupid things. I'm like, you should expect him to do stupid stuff. He's not God. He may be representing God. He may be connecting us to God, but even God himself knows that we're in these flesh and blood bodies and that we're destined to make mistakes, some small, some big. And most of the world is not going to forgive Will Smith because they took that personally. When you yourself has done things far worse. Sitting up here watching Jimmy Dore talking about how the Academy should have made the decision to remove him for slapping Chris Rock. Well, I say, now you're not there now, but TYT should have removed you right then and there when you spit in Alex Jones' face. Now, let me tell you something. I can get over you smacking me, but you spitting on me? You spitting on me? Man, that's a death sentence, man. You spit on me, man. What's the next thing you're gonna do worse than that? Will pull out your willy and piss on me? But you want to make all these comments about what they should have did to Will Smith. And look, don't get me wrong, Will Smith was wrong. He was he was desperately wrong. I don't know what's going on in the mind of Will that he would do that, but all I know is this. He's a perfectionist and trying to have the perfect family, trying to be the perfect Hollywood elite, trying to be the perfect role model for all young boys and girls all around the world will get you under pressure to the point that you're going to crack sooner or later. You're trying to prove to your wife that you are the perfect man and she can care doggone less. Because you're not Tupac. You try to prove it to your family. And you working so hard in your perfectionism, going to end up being cracked. Then you got a wife who's a narcissist, who got you up under so much pressure. You throw a party for her, she's not satisfied. She says that you don't satisfy her in the bed. Man, why would you go and spread stuff like that in the media spectrum about your spouse? Knowing that, look, tell me something like that, oh, I don't satisfy you? Then why don't I stop trying to satisfy you and I go satisfy somebody else? That would be the temptation to do. And maybe that's what happened to Will. Maybe he went in and satisfied somebody else. Maybe somebody else say Will satisfy them. Then she goes around and mess with her son's friend. Yeah, you got black women out here. Let me pull this up. Let me see if I can find it. Like Tiffany Haddish say, when I saw a black man stand up for his wife, that ain't got nothing to do with black. That meant so much to me. Are you married, Tiffany? How many men have you joked and dogged out your life in their face? As a woman who has been unprotected, for someone to say, keep my wife's name, who is a woman that's unprotected? Why are you waiting for somebody to protect you? And see, that's the big problem. You want, too many women want somebody to protect them. And when they don't get somebody to protect them, then they leave them. Or you want a man to protect you to a level that he's incapable of protecting. Or it will cause him to lose his freaking mind trying to reach that level that you got. I want a man that makes 6 figures. I want a man that's 6'2". I want the perfect man. There's no such thing as a perfect man or woman. And sure, you want to have somebody that's stable, but that's not enough. Somebody could be making 7 figures. You go marry him, and he beat the crap out of you. Next thing you know, y'all go fishing, and he throw your butt off the boat, throw your butt off the boat, and he's saying you fell off the boat. For someone to say, keep my wife's name out of your mouth, leave my wife alone, that's what your husband is supposed to do, right? Protect you. How is she being... Protect her from what? A joke? A freaking joke. And you're a joke for saying this. And maybe you're saying this as a joke because you're a comedian yourself. That's what your husband is supposed to do, right? Protect you. If you're being assaulted, if somebody is physically attacking you, or if somebody out there dragging your name through the mud. This wasn't a dragging. This was a lighthearted G.I. Jane joke. Was G.I. Jane, I told you, wasn't an insult. And let me tell you something. She can use the movie role. She's a B-list actress. She haven't built anything for herself. Will done all the building for her. And it's still not enough because we'll have to continue to try to perform for her. And that is exactly what happened at the Oscars. That's exactly what happened at the Oscars. Give me a second. All right, I want to make sure that I'm hearing myself. That's exactly what happened at the Oscars. Leave my wife alone. That's what your husband's supposed to do, right? Protect you. Well, that wasn't protecting, Tiffany. It is a long time tradition that you roast the nominees and their guests if they're noticeable at the event. What make her excluded? But Rob, you got to understand, man. Chris Rock has done this so many times. So? Do he go through life roasting you? That's a different story. But you're at an event. And in the event, one of the long-term tradition is roasting. And Chris Rock does what Chris Rock does. He did what Chris Rock do. Cut jokes. Make people laugh. But no. She got hurt in her feelings. I want to show you something because people always bring this excuse about what she said 8 years ago. So here we go. 8 years ago. All right, shout out to Diesel Williams, who has this clip from 2016. Here we go again. Chris Rock at the Oscars doing what he does so well.
Jada says she's not coming, protesting. I'm like, is she on a TV show? Jada's gonna boycott.
True. She out there talking about she's not coming to the event, and she was on a TV show, I think at that time, Hawthorne, where she played a doctor. Decent show. One of the best work she's done in a long time. Oh, well, had Mark Anthony in the show, who played a detective, and her and Mark Anthony was getting along, and there was controversy about that. But you ain't hear that from me.
Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited.
Now, Mighty White in that place. Mighty White. But he made a joke about Jada boycotting the Oscars. And my thing is, Jada, are you boycotting the Oscars for the sake of black people, or are you boycotting for the Oscars for something between you and Will? That your husband didn't get the nomination that you deserve. Because it ain't the nomination that he deserved. It's the nomination that we deserve. Because I'm telling you, everything that she has right now, that man has given it to her. That man has given her a committed, and when I say never leave, never forsake type of relationship, what some people call agape, that no matter what fault that we make toward each other, we're going to always be for each other. We're never going to quit on each other. And I admonish that type of relationship. But when you got somebody who's consistently emasculating you, simping you out, taking the gas, the wind out of yourself. I know, because I was involved in a marriage where I was being emasculated to the point that I'm like, hey, hell to the no. You're not going to change me into your image. I'm not going to become what you want me to become. And I'm not going to sit here and try to do whatever I can to give you the world, and it still ain't going to be enough. He also talked about in that same bit, and I don't know if Diesel shows it here, about Will Smith. Will Smith didn't get the Oscar nod for, I think it was 7 Days or something. The movie about him having cancer. Great movie by Will. Or Concussion, another great movie by Will. Will has had so many great freaking movies. You can't take that away from that man. That man has done some great work. King Richard was a great movie. So a lot of people talking about they need to take his Oscar away from him. Well, if you're going to take the Oscar away from him, you need to take it from Harvey Weinstein, every last one of those, for his mess. He did far worse than a slap. You need to take it from Roman Polanski. He did far worse than a slap. You need to take it from Woody Allen. He did far worse than a freaking slap. And a host of other people. The man deserved the award. Now, what you do concerning the Academy for is taking him off a position or something like that, I can understand that, which he stepped down from the Academy on board. But that's not going to be enough for nobody, because he did the most heinous crime in the world. He shot 3 kids. Because y'all, I say that because you swear like that man murdered somebody. The slap that's heard around the world. I mean, this thing has gotten so big that you don't hear about Ukraine no more. You don't hear about COVID no more. All we talking about, and I'm up here talking about too, is Will Smith. And again, don't dare get it twisted. Will was wrong. He got out of character. Will was all laughs and smile like he normally do. But because he's under the crack and pressure of trying to please his wife, he saw his wife was not being pleased, so he's going to lean over to protect her emotions when she don't want you really to protect her emotion. She's very capable of protecting her own emotion. That girl's from Baltimore. She ain't no punk. She don't need nobody to stand up for her. She can stand up for herself, but she's become spoiled, and she has become a narcissist. I don't know if it's the fact that Tupac was her ride or die, and she believed that's the only man that will really ride and die for her, and she don't believe Will do that. Now, this video I want to talk about is Chris. Chris being the stand-up guy in this situation. To be on a yearly traditional, used to be one of the most racist events in media, the Oscars. It took a whole lot of pushing and maneuvering just to start getting black people nominated for an Oscar, let alone winning. Chris tells the joke, pretty much of a compliment joke, a joke that everybody know that was no hard joke. And you got people like, for an example, I had so many things up here, man. I heard these ladies singing some song about, Chris Rock been off code and you should protect women and stand up for women. Not if they ain't worthy of being protected and standing up for. Hell no. My old lady go spit in some guy's face for no reason. And she looking at me to protect her. I'm like, I don't know what you expect me to do. I love you, but you bought that on yourself. That man knock you clear from Kingdom Come. You bought that on yourself. What I look like trying to protect you, and then I go fight him and I end up in jail. You spit on him. These guys trying to defend the honor of a woman and end up going to jail, and she sleeping around on him as soon as he go to jail. No, you got to be a woman of honor. I'm defending my wife's honor. That's kind of pretty much what Will said. What honor? What honor? What honor does she have? She's talked about how you don't satisfy. She talked about on In Your Face on her show how she went to had a sexual relationship or entanglement with her son's friend, who y'all brought into the house. as family. And clearly you could see that it hurt you very bad to the point that you felt like if it was legal, I would take her out to eat. Take her out to eat. Chris gets slaps and decides not to press charges. Now, fair use. Fair use. Let me bring it up because I'm going to play this video. Now, this is the Will Packer. He's the producer. First time. And that incident isn't, to me, shouldn't be to the point where it got the whole world shook. Black man slap another black man on stage. No, it's not just any stage, Rob. It's the Oscar. I don't give a crap whether it's the Oscar or at the Oscar Mayer factory. A black man smacked a black man. Okay, it happens. People in my hood smack people all the time, you know. And like I say, he will deserve what he get. But a black man slapping another black man. I live in New York City where black men shoot black men. White men shoot white men. So excuse me if a black man slapping another black man doesn't really affect me like it should. Now, don't get me wrong. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing to this brother who finally took the reins of one of the most racist, bigoted shows of all time. To have so many black people get awards, one is like Denzel Washington, Samuel Jackson, so many black Questlove with that movie he did. So many black people picking up awards got shadowed because Will couldn't control his wife's emotion. It's not his. There was nothing wrong with Will's emotions. His emotions was all right. Will was on a high. He was having the time of his life. He was laughing. He was laughing at the joke about his wife until he saw her emotions. Will couldn't keep his wife's emotion in check. So he goes slaps his friend of over 20 years to try to make her feel happy. And then when they cut to the commercial, she's over there laughing. Like the narcissistic maniac she is. But back to this. Chris took it like a champ. Now, mind you, Chris has a family of girls. And you wonder why the girls say, well, Daddy, why did he do that to you? Well, baby, some people can't take a joke. But let me show you who G.I. Jane is, because I talked about G.I. Jane. You probably need to know who she is. She's she's a bad woman, the first woman to ever apply for the Navy SEAL. And in order to go through that, she had to cut her hair. She went to cut her hair just to reach her goals. Cutting her hair was part of it. And she made, Demi Moore played the person, and she made it. So it would have been a good teaching moment for him to let her know who G.I. Jane is. And for her, Jada Pinkett Smith, to take it personal like it was a horrible thing, she needed to check her own emotions. Sometimes you got to laugh at yourself. And because she couldn't check her emotions, she caused this alarm. She slapped Chris. Will was just a proxy. Now he's bear responsibility because he's cucking out. He's simping out. She done put on the pants. It's just like Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. To the point that he literally talking about wearing dresses. It's the same thing with the doggone Kardashians. Kanye wasn't playing that, so we got to get a divorce. But that mama emasculated Bruce Jenner to the point, look where he's at right now. Bruce Jenner ain't decided to be Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner all because he felt like a woman. Get out of here. And I know y'all people going to hate me for that. No, he was emasculated. He had a woman who emasculated, took this wind out of his cell, made him simped out, cucked him out. That's what she did. And there's too many women in this world who actually were brought up to be that way. I got to shape this man into my own image. There's a lot of potential right there. I can work with you. Well, how you gonna work with me? I'm me. You better get on out of my face. I ain't changing for you. I'm me. You can't take me the way I am. Forget it. Again, Chris took it as a champ in front of his daughters. Now, here's what this gentleman had to say concerning Chris Rock. Let me bring this fair use thingamajiggy up. Hope you guys are doing okay. Like, subscribe, share. I gotta wear these because I can't hear. I can't find my earphone monitors, the studio version. So I gotta use these big old Mickey Mouse. Got me looking like Mickey Mouse with these headphones on. All right, so let's put this up. In good faith, this work contains fair use of copyrighted and non-copyrighted written images from the public domain in the web for non-commercial or non-profitable educational purpose. This work is distributed free of charge. The author has neither monetized this work nor sought any profit from its distribution. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research. Fair use is a use permitted by the copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing, but nonprofit and educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. This work contains original work of commentary and critical analysis. Quotation are attributed to the original authors and its sources. And that goes the same for you, ABC. Now, let me talk to you for a second. I was married to a cop. Sweet young lady, sweet lady when I met her. But I gotta let you know, the way she tried to control things and the way she talked to me, it was like a daily stilling of your soul, a daily chipping away at your emotions, chipping away at your mind. It didn't happen all the time, but when it did, boy, it was hard. And then after a while, I became a former shell of myself. I forgot who I was. And that's why a lot of people go through the same thing when they get divorced. They realize, man, I almost forgot who I was in that relationship. And the relationship is supposed to remind you who you are, not to shape you into what I want you to be. Not to try to get you to be my protector. I can protect myself. You just extra help. She needs somebody to protect her. She's a spoiled brat narcissist. And a narcissist and a perfectionist is a toxic relationship. People say Will's a narcissist. No, Will is not a narcissist. The difference. Will is a perfectionist. And when the perfectionists don't get their way, they act crazy. When the narcissists don't get their way, they act crazy. But a perfectionist and a narcissist don't need to be together. Now, let's get back to Chris, okay? Because, again, this is mostly about Chris. But I do want to bring that mindset that Will should have put Jada's emotion in check. Baby, it's an award show. Come on now. Or he could have laughed off and say, that's funny. I'm going to get you after we get out of here, Chris. I'm going to get you. But because he couldn't check his emotions, yet women think that's the sexiest thing in the world. He's defending my honor. Hey, she ain't got no honor. Ain't nothing honor about her. We're trying to protect something that's not there. She has dishonored him over and over and over again. He threw a 40th birthday party. I don't like this. I don't want this mess. Continue to do whatever you can to please. And she was like, I don't need you to please me. I mean, I appreciate you pleasing me, but it's not enough. You ain't Tupac. That's the man I thought I was going to marry and be with for the rest of my life, but he died on me. Back to Chris Rock. All right, so I'm going to show this interview and let you hear what actually happened at this particular event. And here we go.
To have this moment, an all-black Oscar-producing team for the first time, and then this moment kind of took all that away from him. But he gave us some interesting detail about what's going on behind the scenes, and also just how close Will
Yo, why are you crossing your legs like that, bro? Oh, y'all can't see this.
Smith might have come to being arrested.
It sounds like Chris Rock had the ability, the option, to have the LAPD go arrest and remove Will Smith from that theater that night.
That's an absolute fact. The LAPD made it clear we will do whatever you want us to do, and one of the options is that we will go and arrest him right now.
Now, LAPD will arrest you over farting. They were itching to arrest Will Smith. They was itching to embarrass this used to be a positive look on a black male until this incident. He can bounce back for it. We all mess up. We all do stupid stuff. We all need to pay for it. We got to admit it. We got to admit it. We got to move forward. We got to become a better person. He say he will. We gonna see. I say you're not going to be a better person until you get rid of that dead weight you got called Jada Pinkett Smith. She is hindering you. Until she does a change, you ain't changing for the better. Because you're going to continue to try to cater to her needs when she need to cater to a higher being to cater to her needs as well as you do. Now, they were willing to go arrest Will right there in this event, which would have been embarrassing. Not only embarrassing for all black actors, not only embarrassing for all black entertainers that's sitting there, not only embarrassed to the Academy, not only embarrassing those who won awards before. This is what happened.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the out of me.
That moment came after what we now know.
And he gracefully didn't lose his cool. Why? Because it is his job not to lose his cool. It is his job not to get in the altercation, not to get in the fight. It's part of the bylaws of the Academy. Chris is part of the Academy. He would never go back again if they sit down and went toe-to-toe with Will. It would have been embarrassment to his children for him to be trying to fight Will. Let's say people think that Chris Rock is a chump, and Chris Rock oftentimes say, hey, I can't fight. But we really don't know that. He's from Brooklyn. He probably done kicked a couple butts a couple times. We don't know. We don't know what that little guy can actually do. And here come Will, 6'5", 240 pounds. And he got Chris Rock barely weighing $175, if not that. But he handled it gracefully.
Was an unscripted joke from Rock about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, who's recently been vocal about her.
So for you people who say they put it in the teleprompter, because I thought what they did, they load his jokes in the teleprompter, but oftentimes when you roast, you go off the cut. You don't want to have a script when you're roasting people.
Her battle with alopecia.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Now, so horrible. Why would he say that? Why would he not? And then you got people in the LGBT community talking about Dave Chappelle, you next. You start talking out of line, we're going to smack you. Man, you go up there and try to smack Dave. Guys, you got to stop doing this stupid mess. These are freaking comedians. They're entertainers. If you can't stand the heat, stay your butt out the kitchen. If you're a little emotional brat, don't go somewhere where your emotions going to be rubbed. Let's get the front row in the comedy show. And then when you get roasted on, you hurt and you slam and you want to throw stuff at the, you want to be a heckler or you want to throw stuff at the comedian. Ain't nobody tell you but to sit right there for him to actually see you and find a reason to joke on you. That's what he's there for. Make jokes. Some of them going to be personal. Some of them not going to be personal.
You're sitting.
He's laughing and look at her. Look at that evil look she got. Over there looking like Maleficent. She is that Batman character that she played in Gotham. Everybody laughing, Lupita laughing, Will laughing, but she ain't laughing because she got her little feelings hurt. So Chris Rock gotta take the heat. He got to feel like he's defending his woman. No, he's defending his woman honor. No, he's defending his woman's ego. At the expense of his own ego. Chris Rock does what Chris Rock does. Tell jokes. Don't come to the academy. Don't come to the comedy club because you might get roasted. Be prepared to get roasted. Be prepared to get joked. And if you don't like it and you want to hear the jokes, but you don't want to be the butt of a joke, go sit in the back. Go in the satellite room. Go in the green room. Go in the bathroom. Hell, go anywhere. But be in a place where somebody can see you where they can joke on it. You brought it on yourself. It's her ego. And she wants Will to protect her ego. No, you protect your own ego. Stop being so tight in the behind and upset. But you women out here talking about, oh, you protect her honor. Where's her honor? Got no honor. She's emasculating that man at the biggest event of his freaking life. A lifetime of, you realize how many people spend their life trying to be that caliber of an actor and never ever get a Oscar nod, a Tony nod, a Golden Globe nod. And she got to make it all about her and her ego. Oh, I'm hurt. Okay. How do you let that? I'll be like, girl, stop with that mess. It's a freaking joke. You get over it. And if you really want me to do something about it, I'll holler at Chris after the show. Now he's sitting up there. Started off laughing, now everybody laughing at him.
Monitors around you, tell me what's in your room around you.
I said, watch this. He's gonna kill. Because I knew he had an amazing lineup of jokes that we had. We had them in the prompter. And ultimately, he did not get to one joke. He didn't tell one of the planned jokes. He was just immediately freestyling. But I thought this was part of something that Chris and Will were doing on their own. I thought it was a bit. I thought it was a bit like everybody else. I knew we hadn't practiced it.
Not concerned.
I wasn't concerned at all.
As he's walking.
I figured, okay, he's going to say something or come at him, something.
Why everybody thought it was a bit? Because him and Chris been friends for a long time. That's why Chris is shocked. Chris was literally shocked that Will Smith just slapped me on stage. What is going on with him? Why my boy slapped me? He should have slapped him back. Why? Why? So both of them can look like idiots? My granddaddy said when you see two people arguing against each other, you don't know who's the fool or not. It's like smoking a cigarette. Fool on one end, fire on the other end. These are country sayings, When the idiot is arguing with a smart person, you don't know which one is which because they're arguing. Both of them look like an idiot. So no, Chris did the right thing by stepping back and being the cordial man to continue the show for the sake of everybody else. Yeah, Chris Rock is the one going around apologizing to people. And you did nothing wrong, Chris. You did what you supposed to do. Now you got people talking about, well, good enough for him, protect women, Chris been off code. Look, I've been off code. Heck, I'm probably still off code trying to still get on code. But Chris have talked about so many black issues throughout its comedy skit. I don't think nobody else talked about that since Dick Gregory and maybe Red Fox. Most of these jokes are for the pleasure of all people. They don't deal with black issues in their joke. Chris Rock has. He kept his cool. He kept his composure. Because at the end of the day, not only is his wife and kids there, or let's just say pretty much kids, and Will's wife and kids are pretty much there, and we already got a black producer, and I don't want to kind of make him look, no, I'm not, I'm just going to have to eat, I'm going to have to eat this. Because I got a responsibility. I got people who I got to protect, not just one person who got an ego that she feels she needs to protect.
Funny is going to happen because that's the nature of Chris and that's the nature of Will. So let's see what happens.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth. I'm going to, okay?
Sounded like a doggone fool. Yeah, you women think, oh, this is him protecting. Protecting what? Her ego? He ain't protecting her. He's protecting her ego and his ego because, you know, and Will is not protecting his ego on Chris Rock's expense. He's protecting his ego on his wife's expense. Because she going to rip his ego to shred like she's been doing for the past 10 years. Ripping his ego to shred. Emasculating him. Humiliating him. Next thing you know, he's going to want a sex change. Now, I'm not saying that's why people get sex change, but I believe, this is my personal belief, that's what happened to Bruce Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner now. Maybe Chelsea Manning, I don't know. But some people get emasculated. What we call buck broken. But buck broken usually is coming from slave dominancy. Now, look, they may be having that, you know, they call it Holly weird for a reason. Will and Jada may be into that sick mess. I don't know.
Once I saw Will yelling at the stage with such vitriol, my heart dropped. And I just remember thinking, oh no, not like this. And Chris was keeping his head when everybody else was losing theirs.
He was saying not like this, like, nah, bro, nah, don't do me like this, man. I finally got the job of my dreams, man, and Will Smith's gonna mess it up for me. Chris Rock said, hey, I've been doing this for a bit. I'm good at this. Ain't nobody gonna mess this up. But as Mr. Packer said, Chris kept his composure.
But my heart at that point was just in my stomach because of everything about it and what it represented and what it looked like and who was involved. All of that was just, I've never felt so immediately devastated.
Now, I've heard some of you in the chatter, not today. Oh, Will Smith set black people back 100. Get out of here with that stupid mess. He ain't set me back. Will Smith ain't got that kind of power over the black community. Matter of fact, Will Smith been all off code from the black community. He hasn't been really doing nothing in the streets of Philly or anywhere. He's too busy building his empire. He's not trying to give toward building somebody else's empire. Get out of here with that mess. Oh, he gonna set black people back. Man, these people been setting people back, trying to set black people back way before Will did this stupid mess.
Like I did in that moment.
But it still wasn't until Rock walked backstage that Packer was finally convinced that Smith had actually struck him.
The winners are walking off stage. Chris is with them. And I immediately go up to Chris.
And you say what or you do what?
I said, did he really hit you? And he looked at me and he goes, yeah. He goes, I just took a punch from Muhammad Ali, as only Chris can. He was immediately, in.
Here, Chris is not going to allow this situation to humiliate him. Even though he feels humiliated, he's going to let his faith and his emotions not let that moment take away from him. So he's still joking. I got hit by Muhammad Ali and I'm still standing. Will Smith played Muhammad Ali's story. So, by the way, another great Will Smith movie.
In joke mode, but you could tell that he was very much still in shock. I made that clear, like, Rock, you tell me, whatever you want to do, brother. And he was telling me, I'm fine. Let's just get past this. I'm getting out of here.
Now, look, Jimmy Dore been showing this whole video all day. And he was like, forget what this guy said. Why are you asking Chris? This guy violated the Oscar. No, he ain't violated the Oscars. Will Smith violated Chris. Will Smith ain't gonna be no threat to anybody else in that building. He only a threat to Chris because Chris hurt his wife's ego emotion. The biggest threat in that freaking room is his wife. Because she got his balls in her hands or in her pocketbook. She done turned his balls into her Keegan balls. She's got them now. She got them on the inside of her now. He don't have none. Oh, sure, positive, motivational speaker, positive, wisdom, and all that. But behind closed doors, that ain't how it is.
I can't believe this happened. The LAPD came and needed to talk to Chris. And so they came into my office and they were laying out very clearly what Chris's rights were. And they were saying, this is battery. We will go get him. We are prepared. We're prepared to get him right now. You can press charges. We can arrest him. As they were talking, Chris was, he was being very dismissive.
Oh, and back on Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore, another good comedian. I've been a member, joined this page a long time ago. And when he's right, he's right. When he's wrong, he's wrong. And he's wrong in this situation. How in the world are you going to sit here and say, you going to say the Academy need to kick Will out or Academy should have got him arrested. You should have got arrested when you spit on Alex Jones, dude. You should have got, and you just spit. It looked like you took a whole sip of coffee and spit the coffee in his face. And you got the nerve to talk about Will Smith slapping somebody on a honorable, holy Oscar awards. Get out of here with that mess.
Of those options. He was like, no, I'm fine. He was like, no. And even to the point where I said, Rock, let him finish. And they said, would you like us to take any action? And he said, no. He said, no. And I didn't have any conversation with Will.
But the Academy says they asked Smith to leave, which he refused.
A lot of folks immediately were wondered why he got up, walked that far, assaulted somebody, went back to his seat and was allowed to stay.
Right.
What was the conversation about?
Because Will is only going to be slapping Chris. Will ain't slapping nobody else. So he felt comfortable going back to his seat. Now, he should have went home. After that, I was like, look, bro, you got to go anyway. Because we don't need this tension. We don't need this negative energy here. And look, we'll mail your Oscar to you if we give you one. But this was uncalled for.
Behind the scenes.
It happened to be right before the Best Actor Award. Shayla told me that they were about to physically remove Will Smith. And I had not been a part of those conversations. And so I immediately went to the Academy leadership that was on site, and I said, Chris Rock doesn't want that. I said, Rock has made it clear that he does not want to make a bad situation worse. That was Chris's energy. His tone was not retaliatory.
And for you Jimmy Dore people out there, and that's exactly what it would have been. It would have been a bad situation gone worse. To have the police come in there and haul out Will Smith, Mr. Positivity himself, who all of a sudden decided to be not positive that day, trying to protect his wife's ego. He wasn't trying to protect her honor. He was trying to protect her freaking ego and her narcissism over a lame joke that wasn't even an insult.
His tone was not aggressive and angry, and so I was advocating what Rock wanted in that time, which was not to physically remove Will Smith at that time, because as it has now been explained to me, that was the only option at that point. It has been explained to me that there was a conversation that I was not a part of to ask him to voluntarily leave.
Will Smith later said on Instagram, "I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I'm embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be."
When did you finally get a chance to tell?
You were wrong. You should be embarrassed. And it is not the man you want to be. See, the person that you portray yourself to be around us is really the man you want to be, but you can't be that man at home where it matters, because she got your balls on the inside of her. Not her pocketbook. She don't have it in a glass on the mantelpiece. She's taking your balls and they become her Keegan balls, and she done put it inside of her. You don't own them no more. And you need to start making some hard decisions on getting them back, man, before you continue to be emasculated even further. And next thing you know, your name won't be Will anymore. It'll be Wilhelmina. You need to check her, bruh. Ain't no way. If it's funny, I'm funny. It's funny. If you can't handle it, baby, you ain't got to follow me everywhere I go. You ain't got to go with me everywhere I go. And she probably the type of person, she ain't going to go too. I'm going too. Babe, why don't you stay home? I'm going. Because you want to have this image about, look what we've done, and you ain't did jack. Will did that. Westbrook Studios is Will. I don't know why in the world he made it Will and hers. Now, she's a writer, but she ain't all that hot of a writer. And Westbrook got some good TV shows. I think they own Kung Fu. I know they own Cobra Kai. Of course, they own the Bel Air series, which is a hot series right now on Peacock. And these studios are gravitating toward Will to put their show on their on their channel. And this move right here is going to make it harder. And the song is true. It's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep her there, boy. If Will was to divorce her, leave her, in California, you get half. If they did not sign a prenup, and I think she grabbed his balls and squeezed them the moment he mentioned prenup. Oh, girl, no. Okay, no, I'm not going to do a prenup. Okay, you're going to be with me forever, right? Because they don't have a prenup, if they get a divorce, she's going to get half of that. She's going to own half his empire that she didn't even build. Keep going.
Touch base with Will Smith.
Will Smith reached out to me the next morning and said, and he apologized. And he said, this should have been a gigantic moment for you. And he expressed his embarrassment, and that was the extent of it.
Will Smith!
Folks at home who had just seen the assault minutes later are now watching a room, mostly of the folks in the room, giving a standing ovation to.
All right, I ain't gonna keep going through this, but yada yada yada. Then in the speech, he's trying to make a defense on why he's doing that, and he's trying to invoke King Williams. I just played this guy who's fiercely about protecting his family. I got to be fiercely about protecting his family. You ain't protecting your family. You're protecting your wife's ego. Stop it. Now, Chris Rock, and I'm almost done, went to the concert. His sales went up. His sales went up because people wanted to know if he's going to talk about that. I need to be here. I need to hear what was going on in his mind. So Chris is doing this concert, and I want to be there just in case he talks. So the prices went up to $400 on some of those tickets. And I heard it was sold out. Well, this is what Chris had to say at this particular event.
How was your weekend? I don't have like a bunch of shit about what happened. So if you came to hear that, I had like a whole show I wrote before.
Right. I already had my show booked and ready to go. I already have my bit for my show. That's what I'm gonna do. If you come here to see me roast Will Smith, I'm not gonna do that. First of all, that's been my boy for 10 years, so I don't know what's going on. You do know what's going on, and you need to talk to your boy and say, yo, man, I mean, I know you love your wife, man, but come on, man, I would rather divorce my wife than let her emasculate me. I'm not gonna be emasculated. She's not gonna cut off my balls, man. She's just not. And clearly she's cutting off your balls, man. If you don't see that, I'm telling you, this is an intervention, man. He might have to get everybody out. Might have to get Denzel, everybody to have a talk to him. Because I guarantee you, Denzel's wife ain't doing that mess. Denzel's wife start talking that trash, man. Denzel do that training day laugh. That Lonzo laugh. And she gonna shut up.
This weekend, and I'm still kind of processing what happened. So at some point I'll talk about that shit. And it'll be serious, it'll be funny. I'm gonna tell some jokes. I'm gonna talk about it's nice to just be out.
You've been on a hell of a journey with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, there's people's feelings involved.
Right. Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's healing that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. So what happened, Jada?
Okay, so I think it was about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Started a friendship with August.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually became really, really good friends.
Really, really good friends. You're seeing all this stuff in front of your husband. But you and your husband are not really, really good friends. You became really, really good friends with your son's friend. So you just wanted to be a MILF from day one.
And it all started with him just needing some help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me wanting to help his health, his mental state. And we found...
But you don't want to help your wife, your husband health in his mental state. How are you going to help somebody mental state when you're the chief contributor to somebody being unhealthy and being in an unhealthy mental state? When you refuse to recognize that you're in an unhealthy mental state. And that's probably the reason why you had alopecia. Hair loss can come from stress. It can come from trying to be demanding. All that stuff.
On all those different resources, you know, to help pull them through. And
what resources to help them pull through? Oh, I know what resources to help them pull through.
And from there, you know, you and I will...
Clearly, I'm going to show you this video, and you clearly going to see a man who's been emasculated. Folks, these things happen all the time. Women are demanding too much of a man, too much from men. And men, if you're demanding too much from women, you're just as bad. I'm like Dave Chappelle. All I need you to do is Don't talk too much, fish me a sandwich, and no, let me stop. Don't take much from me. I don't need you to be all these things. 100 ways to keep your man. There's only, like Dave Chappelle said, there's only about 5 things or 3 things at most. And I'm good. Me, I'm good. I don't need all this extra pressure. And you should be limiting yourself to a few things too. You don't need to be having 50 million things for me to do for you. Because you're going to have me looking like this. And I'm not going to let no woman, babe, I know you're out there. I know you hear me. Love you. I'm not going to let no woman put me through this. I've been there before, done that. I'm not ever going to let it happen again. I'd rather stay by myself. I feel so much free, so much happy. The moment I see you doing this stuff, I'm out. And fellas, the moment you see a woman start doing this stuff to you, you need to say, peace out. When you're starting to feel like this, feel and look like this, it's a good sign that this ain't gonna be good. You might need to change your options.
You've been on a hell of a journey with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, there's people's feelings involved.
Right. Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's healing that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That look right there. When she got you looking like that, that is the poster child picture of an emasculated man. I would say, you know, Caitlyn, they probably, YouTube gonna get me. No, this is where it starts. It could end to something else, but this is where it starts. When you're sitting there and talking to your spouse or talking to your old lady about a subject and you're looking like that at her.
Yes, absolutely. So what happened, Jada?
Okay, so I think it was about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Started a friendship with August.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually became really, really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it all started.
You see, you're going to say that in my face, and you're going to rub that in my face. On national TV, you got me here at your Red Table Talk. You got me on national TV having this conversation. You got to make it, we became really, 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 really good friends. I mean, real good friends. I mean, friends so good we had benefits. I gave him benefits, he gave me benefits. You know, when the last time I got some of them benefits, girl? What kind of benefits you giving this dude?
With him just needing some help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me wanting to help his health, his mental state.
They say don't forget about the physical one. How you gonna help somebody when you can't even help your own husband? Look at Will. Look at Will. Will is gonna be the type of person that's gonna do burst. He's just gonna burst out in a laughter out of the blue. Doing push-ups and laughing at the same time. When you see Will Smith doing push-ups and laughing at the same time, he's being broken.
And we found all those different resources, you know, to help pull him through. And from there, you know, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
That particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah. I really felt like we could be over. You know?
No, we were
over. And then what did you do, Jada?
What?
You see that? We were over. He felt like they could be over. She said, no, we were over. See, I don't know who is trying to keep who in this relationship. I don't think Will is going to ever divorce her, and I think she want to be out of this relationship, but she can't. Maybe it's some California law or something like that. Maybe it's because they got a prenup. I don't know. But it's something that's causing them to stick together, because she said it was over. Will said, I felt like it was over. No, she said it was over. This guy need to have a leather outfit on with a ball in his mouth and calling her mistress because he's literally her slave.
You know, I think from there, you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
And I got into an entanglement with
You know,
August. That's what I
just tell her.
said.
Hey, that's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes. It was a
Yeah.
relationship.
No, don't even say that. You got tangled up. You had your legs behind you. Let me stop. Now, look, guys, I'm just telling the truth. He had you tangled up in the bedroom. There was just no relationship.
Absolutely.
We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time and you go figure out how to make yourself happy.
I was in a lot of pain and I was very broken. Now, in the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily,
Then why don't you go get it? Why don't you go get it for yourself? Stop putting this man through.
enough, you and I were also going through a process of healing in a much different manner.
Mm-hmm.
I would.
All right, so I'm done with this. I'm just taking you through the journey that this man pretty much knocked his career back 1,000 years with that one action. Don't get me wrong, Will got plenty of money. He gonna be all right whether somebody take one of his films, whether he do another film or not, whether he create another film and some studio pick it up, or he just produce it himself and he get a distributor that's gonna ignore the fact that he slapped somebody at the Oscars. He's gonna be fine. Financially. Mentally, don't know. My point of this, and I didn't harp on it too much, is that Chris Rock need to be commended. He needs to be celebrated. Don't get me wrong. He's been on the bad enemy on some areas or some topics. Me and him don't agree. And I'm not celebrating Chris. I'm not celebrating Will. Will really needs to get some kind of marriage counseling, or you know, I'm not an advocate for divorce, but he need to work something out, man. He need to put her in check, because she looked like she puts him in check more than he put her in check. I can't see him putting her in check. All I see is asking questions, but I can see her putting him in check. Chris Rock went through a divorce and it wasn't nice, but in his divorce, he found he still got his gonads, he got his jewels. He didn't give his jewel to his wife. She probably was trying to take it. That's how most divorces are. She wants your jewels and you won't give it to her, and that's the reason why she divorced you, because she wants to control you. Chris goes and tell the Academy, look, it's my deal. I mean, I can work that out with my boy. I don't want him escorting or nothing. We're not going to do that. As a matter of fact, let me go apologize to the recipients of these awards, because I took this incident, and it's not your incident, Chris. It's Will's incident. This incident has overshadowed what should have been a great time for you. What should have been a great time for Will. I should have been hanging out with Will, drinking with Will, helping them celebrate, but because he can't keep his wife's emotions in check, or because his wife can't keep her own emotions in check, Will shouldn't have to be trying to put her emotions in check. But just in case she get out, he should be able to be the father, be the husband, and say, hey, you need to stop, girl. But, you know, I guess he didn't want to get embarrassed, because she's the type of person that'll probably slap him and walk out the Oscars. Then what it's going to be like? Chris did the great thing. He did the man thing. He did the man honor thing. He did not press cheap. Oh, he's a punk. No. There's rules being at that. It's a job for him, and he can't just fight somebody on the job, or he'll lose his job. Somebody comes